Ready for some cool ideas for defending your Fallout 4 settlement? In this series, we're looking at tactics, structures, electrical systems, and more to help you keep you and your settlers safe for when the enemy comes knocking at your door. What's up, guys? Darkdally here, playing Fallout 4, and today I want to talk about turrets and immersive gameplay, how you build them, the best, some ways to use them, how you can make parts from them, and where you can get the parts, because they work a little different from turrets in the vanilla game. Now, I don't have turrets at this settlement yet. This is the settlement that I showed in my last video. This is my super compact little Oberlin station. It pretty much fits in a 3x3 tile, almost, footprint. But it's got a lot to it. I showed it last time, and since I showed it, the reason I'm here is I had a massive attack last night, and when actually the second I came here, I'll show some of that on screen now. The second I came here, I got a notification on my screen saying that Ten Pines Bluff was under attack. So after I spent about 20 minutes here slaughtering, 30 or so super mutants, I then had to go to Ten Pines Bluff and then defend that place against another massive swarm. Only that place it was raiders. Yeah, so the one here was, I really only used the shooting point right here in the corner, is pretty much how I did the entire thing. Is I have these little tiny shooting points here in the corner, because there was, well, when there's super mutant raids, they invariably come with miniguns, and there's usually 2 or 3 in circulation, and when you're talking 30 or maybe more super mutants, as soon as you drop the one carrying the minigun, another one just picks it up, and so it's like a never-ending stream of miniguns. There was a few times I went up to the balcony and shot them, but I was taking too much fire. One of them was a 50 caliber minigun, which is possible in immersive gameplay, and those things will shred your power armor, even just a couple of bullets. So I mostly stayed down here and shot them through this corner. I also noticed, and perhaps you could say this was me exploiting a glitch, but it was a way to stay alive. They were trying to clip through these walls here, and as you can probably see, I'll try to find some clips and show it. Sometimes their heads would kind of poke through the wall, and even though they couldn't shoot me, I was able to get some headshots. Hey, when you're talking 30 or so super mutants, I was willing to take any advantage that I could. My door over here, my little double door, this right here, I made it so that if they glitch through this door, which sometimes they do glitch through doors, then I had this to stop them. But that never happened. They never tried to poke through their heads through this door here. The whole time they were at these walls right here. And I'm thinking it might be because I have 2 doors. Having 2 doors might be just enough to stop them from glitching through that first one. That's okay. I still have this for if they run out of ammunition, or if I have melee enemies, I can still open that door remotely and take out any melee enemies right here safely. So yeah, that was pretty fun. Now let's head on to what I want to talk about today, which is turrets. I want to show you guys the turrets I've added to my settlement in Sanctuary. And this is perfect. We arrived during a rad storm, which means ghouls should be showing up any second now. Let's go ahead. Let's pop on a hazmat suit, and we can see my new turrets in action, and then I'll show them to you. It just so happened that there was a rad storm. With the weather mod that I have, which is True Storms, ghouls can follow rad storms up from the glowing sea, which I think is kind of cool and pretty lore appropriate, really. Let me show you my turret setup. Now, you guys have seen this. I have these shutters here which flip-flop. When I close this side automatically opens, and vice versa. Now, here's what I've got. I've got the turrets fenced off, and yeah, I'll show them to you from the outside. I've got them fenced off here so they can shoot through, but explosions won't get to them. That's the most important part of this fencing here. The fencing was right here, as it is in this window. When I put the turret there, I simply moved it out. Now I have 2 turrets. I have one on this corner, and I have one over here on this corner. Again, when I hit this switch, you guys have seen this already if you've seen this series. If you haven't seen this series, I'll have a link to the playlist in the description below. These shutters, they flip back and forth, so that way I can't be shot from behind. The other turret is right here. Now, the whole reasoning behind this is I can use this as a great shooting point to pick off enemies. And if the turret were to happen to die during a raid, I have this switch right here. What this does is this closes the door in front of the turret, so I can safely stand here, enter build mode, and then repair the turret without getting shot. And then I can go ahead and open this back up and let the turret resume firing on the enemies. Now, these shutters here are not connected to the door in front of the turret. For instance, if I close these shutters here, the door in front of the turret will remain open. All right, let's go ahead. Let's just change the weather back, because I didn't plan for this. I did not expect this. I don't normally like to, you know, alter the weather. I like to roll with it, you know, for immersion. But since we're doing a video here, let's go ahead and let's clear up the weather. With immersive gameplay, ghouls are pretty rough. Even ghouls without power armor, they could tear me apart pretty quick. Yeah, there's still some stragglers. Alright, so here's what the turret assemblies look like from the outside, guys. Sorry about all that. I got this nice little enclosure here. Here's the door. It's just simply a garage door, which I pulled from Homemaker. And then I used my Power Doors mod to power it with this conduit. Okay, and that was a crash to desktop. That was fairly inconvenient. Sorry about that, guys. Let's go ahead and let's get back to where we were at. Okay, so I shut down the rat storm. There might be some ghouls out here, but obviously they will be taken care of. All right, so here, see it again. Yeah, that shutter's closed. This remains open. So here's the little enclosure for the turrets. Now, building turrets in immersive gameplay is a little bit different from building them in the regular game. They take more specialized materials, and that's what I want to show you. You can buy some of them from vendors. You can get some as drops from robotic enemies and from turrets. Let's go ahead. Let's go to build mode. Some of the specialty parts that turrets require are really heavy too, like turret parts, advanced turret parts, etc., which you'll see here. They can weigh 125, 150 pounds. So I think it's cool. It makes all of this together. It makes turrets much more difficult to make, but it makes them, I do believe they are much tougher. They're much more formidable than they are in the vanilla game. Now you can see there's different turrets for different calibers. And you have to use bullets to build them. The ones I have here are 5.56 because I have plenty of 5.56 ammo. As you can see, I got 15K. Now, because here's the thing. When these break, you got to pump more ammo back into them. So it's kind of like they use ammo effectively. Now, it takes oil. That's not hard. In fact, oil is much easier to come by in immersive gameplay because you can render oil from animal fat. So that's actually great. I have plenty of oil. Here's the problem. It's the turret parts and the targeting cards. Again, these are drops, and you can also purchase them. They're very expensive to purchase. If I recall, expensive is in like 10, 15K, you know, caps to purchase. Or, you know, if you don't want to purchase them and you can't find any, you can build them over here in the crafting station, at the chemistry station. Sorry, there's more stuff I wanted to show you there in the build menu, but first let's check this out. Now, some of the categories here are added by other mods that I have. What I want to look at is there's a turret section somewhere, and this does come with, this is part of, here it is, immersive gameplay. Here you can build the stuff you need to build the specialty turrets. Laser turret parts. Now see here, you can build a laser turret part, and it's built from a shipment. Now, shipments are one thing that's introduced in immersive gameplay. Like, there's shipments of meat, shipments of ammo, and just like in the vanilla game, it's effectively a way to take a bulk, you know, amount of something and reduce it to 0 weight just for transportation, right? It's very handy. Oh, it looks like some of the ghouls found their way back here. Okay, then. So you would buy the shipment from a merchant, which is weightless, and then you come here and you turn it into the laser turret parts. You know, it's effectively like a turret's parts promissory note. Let's go down here. Here's where you actually build them. Here we go. So you can build targeting cards out of circuitry and silver. Silver and gold are two things that weren't used much, if all, for crafting in the vanilla game, but they're definitely used here. And it's a cool thing because gold, for instance, is used in some of this stuff, like generators. And I know some kind of turret part uses gold. There we go. Very hard to come by. Very, very hard to come by. It's also very valuable. Anyway, let's go back up here. So that's how you would make a targeting card. Turret parts you make out of copper, gear, oil, and steel. Now you can see I have a lot of steel. That's because stuff here scraps to a lot, but stuff takes a lot more to create. The mod author of Immersive Gameplay sought to break everything down into what he felt it reasonably broke down into. So a lot of the numbers are rearranged anyway. So you would make these parts. So that said, turrets are a lot harder to make, and having a settlement with turrets is a much bigger deal with immersive gameplay, so I'm really happy that I have these two that I have. Now, someone asked in the comments in one of my videos, I didn't find the time to reply, if I knew about turrets you could turn on and off a switch. Yes, of course. And I've utilized those in mini settlements, but I just don't have what it takes to build them here. Let me go ahead and show you those. Here's the ones you would be able to turn on and off. Now, a lot of these I haven't used these. They require a lot more power, and they're probably pretty powerful, especially when you go down here. Heavy laser turrets, large laser cannon, massive laser cannon. I would love to see this thing wreck some settlement raids. I can't imagine what this does. Obviously, there's no way. I mean, progression in immersive gameplay is pretty slow. It's going to take me a minute to get Science 4 and all of that stuff. But look at that. 100 laser turret parts, 500 power. I can't wait to get some of this stuff. This is some of the stuff I really like about immersive gameplay is it puts so much more focus on progression in the game, because level progression is much slower, and there's so many more tiers of stuff that you can craft out of other stuff and build. So this is kind of a small look at some of the turrets. I would like to do like 200 power, 500 power. Jesus, I'd like to do a more proper thing on everything there is to know about turrets, but I would simply have to level up more, and I'm not the... It's not my style to just console everything in, because I'd rather earn it, to be quite honest. So that's kind of a introduction then, I guess you could say, on how turrets work in immersive gameplay. Here's a great setup for them, because this blocks them from taking explosions, though bullets can still go through either way. And of course, I'll just show it again because I love this so much. I've got my little door right here so I can close it and then repair the turret. And I'm sorry about that, guys. I forgot to close Discord before I came in here. And, well, speaking of which, if you want to know how you can get into my Discord, check out my Patreon page. There's a link in the description of this video, and there should be on the screen at the end as well. All my patrons are welcome into my Discord channel. I figured I'd mention that as long as it's beeping and interrupting my video. All right, guys. That's about it. I wanted to show some stuff from the Oberlin Station raid that I mentioned, because I did record that, those super mutants. Oh my god. And I wanted to show you guys some of what I have here. These are the only real additions I've made were these turrets to the settlement, but I did spend some time and really get this nice, and these are great, having one on each side. Ultimately, of course, I'd like to have 4, one for each window, but as they take so many materials to build, they're not just a quick build like they are in the vanilla game, and I have more and more settlements every day. I have a couple more settlements than I had last time, and I'm going to try to show all of these as I can in video, and I'm trying to make them all unique and different. As I have more and more settlements that need defending, I can't afford to focus all my attention right here, though this is kind of my main base where I store everything primarily. Alright, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to tell me what you think in the comments below, and well, guys, it's been a real pleasure. I had a lot of fun doing this one. My name is Darkdally. I will catch you guys next time.